Hey YouTubers, this project for today is replacing front struts and rear shocks. So I have the service manual here. So we got Newton meters for torquing and foot-pounds. So I have my torque wrench here, which allows me to set the appropriate torque when I put this back on. I bought the struts and shocks on Amazon, and we're basically going to remove the wheel assembly, the tire, then jack the unit up and put some support underneath the arm here and take off these bolts and put the new one in and rebolt it in. So it should be pretty simple for the back. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're just looking behind the wheel here, and there's the driver's side rear shock. Here's one of the bolts we're going to remove, and the other is near the top there, which you can probably see right back there. So I'm going to use the jack that came with the vehicle, and I also have jack stands. So what we're going to do is we're going to just apply some pressure to the jack here so that it is where we need it to be when we start jacking up the vehicle. And then I'm going to start off here by just removing and loosening all these lugs. And once I loosen it, I can jack up the vehicle and remove the tire. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, these are all loosened. Now what we need to do is start to connect our handle on to our jack, and we're going to go ahead and lift this so we can remove the wheel. Okay, so we have the vehicle jacked up just enough to get it off the ground. So our tire is free. And then we put an extra safety supporting jack stand so we don't die when we're doing this. So the next step here is to take these bolts off completely and pull the tire off. Okay, we have the wheel removed, and we got a supporting jack stand to hold up the arm here. So when we come in and we remove the bolts, the arm doesn't come down and the spring pop out or whatever. We want to support that arm. So all we have to do now is remove top bolt and bottom bolt and put the new shock in and bolt it back in with the appropriate torque. So that's the next step here. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay guys, so these bolts are really tough to pull off. This has got about 116,000 miles on it, so we may need to spray some WD-40 in here to kind of loosen it up. Additionally, if you can get more leverage, what you could do is you can take your wrench and put some type of pipe that'll fit over the end of this so that you have a lot more leverage on the wrench. So I have a long pipe bender here that this fits into, and I can use this way back here to get a lot more torque due to the leverage to be able to extract that bolt. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. So I'm going to set the camera down and hopefully I'll have success here. Okay, just to show you that I have success here, basically I have the 19mm socket on the bolt, and you can see I got the pipe in here, and it's pretty long. It's as I said, it's a pipe bender, and using this I'm able to loosen it up. So this is a good solution if you're having a tough time getting these bolts off. Okay, so we got it removed from the bottom, and we just got it removed from the top. On the top, there was a bolt on a nut on the back side here, which was 3/4 inch. So I had to put a wrench back there because otherwise it would spin freely and the bolt wouldn't come out. But basically we're good now, and we got it off. So here is the old one. Okay, so one last item here for the rear shocks. So this is the old shock, and you know, I can still push it down pretty easy, and there's not really a lot of recovery, so it's coming real slow. So compared to the new shock, you can kind of see if I can even push it down. It comes back pretty quick. So that's one indication of how old they are. But what I wanted to bring to your attention is once you get the new shock in there, so I went ahead and I just put it snug. I'm going to come back and torque it in a minute, but I want to get this bottom on. And as you can see now, this shock doesn't line up in here, and that's why we have the jack to support this, also to jack this up so that this can line up for me to put the bolt through and reattach it. So that's what I'm going to do, and then pretty much I torque them and put the wheel back on like I indicated earlier. The specs for torquing is 129 foot-pounds. So you take your torque wrench, which is this guy I have here, and let's see if I can, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it in here. There you go. So you can see you get a reading for foot-pounds on the top of this one and Newton meters on the bottom. So like I said, 129 foot-pounds for this, and it comes out to about, I think, 175 Newton meters. But, you know, it's the same. Depends on what you want to use. So this is what I'm going to use to torque it to the appropriate specification based on the service manual. And good to go. Put everything back together, lower the jack, do the other side. So I hope you enjoyed this and it was useful. Leave comments if you're interested. Hey guys, another update. This is the passenger side, and one thing I wanted to indicate, it's more difficult on this side because the front here has fuel lines in the way, so you can't stick a normal socket wrench in there. You'll need something deep. So I guess my solution here is to put a 3/4 inch or 19 millimeter wrench right in the groove here, down here, so it's just up against the metal here. And that's going to hold the bolt in place, otherwise it's going to spin freely as I attempt to disconnect it here. So in case you run into an issue and you don't have a set of tools that'll get behind in here, you can just use a wrench like I did here, just throw it in there, and then this side's starting to come loose, so it's going to come out. Hope that helps.